So those are the ways that the women survive while they're here. Okay, we do not ask them to pay us, but they have to put into their savings account their money at 30% of whatever they make, so that when they leave, they can transition to the next step. So that is mandatory. And they have to turn in their budget to us each month, so we know what they've done. And again, we work with them in case management, setting those goals, and moving them forward into how they're going to successfully leave us and transition out. When they come here, their doctors are found through the Medi-Cal system, unless they already have insurance. So that's how they get their doctors. Do they go to work? Hopefully, but sometimes when you're pregnant and you're going to have a baby, and then just after you have a baby, work is not going to happen until you get more settled within that first 3 to 6 months. And we have what is a tremendous alumni program. So when they leave us, they go directly in, if they want to our alumni program. Now, our alumni program offers them counseling. We send them a newsletter 4 times a year. You should write this down. And we do 4 workshops, educational workshops a year. And we do 2 events. One of them will be the summer barbecue for all of our residents that have been here since 1994, and our annual Christmas party. That is every December we have that, and we adopt families that have been here. Last year we had it at the gym here at the Covenant Church, and we had 339. We've had 271 women through the program, and 359 children. So we've had a lot in the last 20 years of people that have been in this program. Because we take children, this is something else you should write down, we also work with Department of Children's Services. So we also are working with the system at that level, because if a woman is reunifying with her child when she comes here, we will help with that process. If a woman is here or has left us and is alumni and has had her child taken away, they will come back and talk with us about that process, and we will give services towards that too, if we can help. So you get a clear picture of how big this program is. It's very big. We have over 300 volunteers that support the organization every year, and in many different ways. They're either groups, schools, individuals, clubs, universities. We have an internship program for interns that are in college, can come and spend the summer and do 100 hours here, or do their summer project here. I have a mentoring program for mentoring women who come and are attached to our residents or our alumni, and they mentor them for their time here up to a year out. We also have a liaison program, and that's for people in churches or an organization, or maybe even in a school, where I have one contact, and that contact is who we work with throughout that year to be our liaison to that school, to that church, to that business. Because I am one person, Debbie is one person, there is no way after 20 years in growing this organization to this level that we can get to every one of the places that would like us to come and speak. We do our best to get to that. But what I found a few years ago, which is all those people up on the wall, or all the liaisons in churches we work with, is that we needed to have our voice in the church, in the business, somewhere in the school, so that they could speak for us. So we do have that. We do have a liaison in a number of different places. So all these programs are very up in the air, balls that we keep up in the air all the time. So our staff is small in comparison to the work that we do, because even though we can only have 6 people here, so 6 people here, we work with another 31 to 40 a month in our alumni. So we have a tremendous amount of work that we do here. So there is Debbie and I as directors, and then we have Callie, who is here as our administrative assistant. Debbie and I share her. We have a director of alumni services, which is Kristen, that was bringing the plant in. She goes through all our donations. And then we have a number of house managers, about 4 house managers, because we're covered 24/7. When you first came, there was, I don't know if she was sitting out there, but one of our interns from APU was there. We have interns that come from all over the nation, from Boston, from Wheaton, from all over the nation, that will come and work with Elizabeth House at different times throughout the year. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we do. Some of the questions you asked was, how did they become homeless? Well, there's lots of ways that they can become homeless. Some 30%, you should write this down, of the women we see come through the foster care system. Okay, so there, right there, helps you know how they become homeless. If they emancipate out of foster care, then where are they going to go? A lot of them are helped with the foster care to get them into what's called transitional living, but that only goes up to 21 or 24. So where are they going to go after that? If they have not learned how to be self-sufficient, then they, like all of you, could end up homeless. Because you have to know and plan and be able to take care of yourself. Each of these women are evaluated on their needs. That is something that I am adamant about. So if I have someone who is older, because they can be as young as 18 or as old as 45, I've had all that in here. Okay, if we have women that have been here in that age range, then the 18-year-old is not going to have the same experience as the 38 or 40-year or 45-year-old woman. She's worked, she's probably been in a lot more relationships, and has had a lot more life experience than an 18-year-old. So the 18-year-old may not know how to be self-sufficient because she hasn't done it. Maybe she never had a job. You know, maybe she lived at home and her parents are mad because she's pregnant and kicked her out. Maybe the 45-year-old was married and her husband left her and now she doesn't know what to do. She's pregnant, she's homeless, their house sold, she lost her job, she needs help to get back up on her feet, but she has a work history. She has a way of being self-sufficient again. So there's somebody that I can work with. The 18-year-old, I may have to put her into programs that help develop her to get back into the workforce. Why the workforce? Because they have to be able to go to work and be self-sufficient and supporting. Because welfare is, if you are on welfare, number one, if you get pregnant, they will give you GR, which is general relief. That is only for the first 6 months. After 6 months, that's $200 a month. That's it. After 6 months, you go on to what they call, because you're pregnant, CalWORKs. On general relief and on CalWORKs, you get food stamps and you get Medi-Cal. Not a lot of food stamps, but some. And then on CalWORKs, you get a little more food stamps and you keep your Medi-Cal. Then once you have your baby, you go up to $500, because you had the baby on, about $520 a month. Do you think you could live on $520 a month? No. There's no way. So we have to be able to work with them and get them into programs that are going to help them get living in their own apartment that is affordable, and working so that they can get help for child care through GAIN, because the welfare system will help with that. And they will only give some of these services, especially the cash aid services, for 5 years. So you better get yourself together in that amount of time or you're out of luck. So there's a lot of challenges. And let's say you went to school, but you screwed around in school a lot and you really didn't do what you're supposed to do, and you end up now being out of school, you're in 11th or 12th grade, but you dropped out because you just weren't making the grades and didn't want to do it and you went to work. Okay, now you don't have a high school diploma. So in our economy today, Are they going to hire the person with the BA who has, or someone who has a high school diploma over the person who doesn't? They're certainly going to hire the person with the BA or the one who has a high school diploma before they hire the one who dropped out in 11th grade. So let's get your GED, okay? So they're still going to hire the person with the BA and the person who has the high school diploma or the person who has the GED. So the education part is very important for them, so we really have to assess what they've done with their education. Let's say they have a learning disability, they're ADD, ADHD, and maybe they have visual perceptual problems or something else like that. That needs to be assessed because maybe that's interfering with their ability to get a job and keep a job, right? So that's an obstacle, right? So what do we do with that? Well, we get it assessed and maybe we work with vocational rehab because vocational rehab will work with people who have those issues. Let's say you have a college degree. I have 2 girls right now in here have college degrees that have graduated. One in music and performs and is working and doing all that. The other one is in organizational leadership. Okay, through their pregnancy and them getting back up on their feet, they have a way to move forward, but we have to organize some of those things. And their obstacles may be other things that we need to step in and take a look at. So when we step into their lives, I always tell them that they get into Elizabeth House is definitely kind of a God-ordained thing because we're always full. Because people have that need and we always work with them to move them forward. And people don't want to leave us because they need that kind of support. Number one, we're nurturing, we're there, we're giving top-level services, and we're making sure that we stay in their life. We don't leave them, even though we're intrusive. We don't leave them until we can see them successfully get where they need to go. Once they're out there, they're making their choices. When they blow it, they know they have a place to come back to. And they do that. But you see, this is what changes a society, is building a village and a family, a home for these women and children that they don't have on their own because it's too dysfunctional or it was never there or, you know, whatever reasons. Now their children are coming to us because now they're at that age after 20 years that they're getting ready to step into college, so we help them with our scholarship.